Welcome to Objective 34 video notes. If you look at problem number 1, it says graph the following linear inequality. We would read that as y is greater than negative 3x plus 4. What you'll notice is that there's an inequality sign instead of an equal sign from last chapter. So to do this, we're basically going to have to do 3 steps. Step number 1, we're going to graph the line. And when we graph the line, we're going to have to consider the inequality sign. If the inequality sign is greater than or less than, we're going to have to use a dotted line. If the inequality has a greater than or equal to sign, or a less than or equal to sign, then we're going to have to draw a dotted, not a dotted, a solid so we'll draw a solid line So over here, reminder from last chapter, we go up to 4. And then what we do after we go to 4, so we went to 4, and then we draw the slope of negative 3 over 1. So remember, our slope is negative 3 over 1. So we go down 3 and right 1. And then we're going to draw a dotted line through those 2 points. So there's our dotted line. Now step 2, we're going to have to pick it, we're going to test a point. So test point. And the good point to test is 0, 0. So that's your hint. Test 0, 0. So when we test 0, 0, what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 0, 0 for y and for x. So if you look at this inequality up here, we're going to get 0. So we're going to go plug it in. So let's go down here. We're going to plug 0 in for y, greater than negative 3. Replace the x with a 0, plus 4. 0 is greater than negative 3 times 0 is 0, plus 4. And then we have 0 greater than, and 0 plus 4 is 4. Now, when we do this, we have to ask ourselves 2 questions. All right, and this is the 3rd step. If it's a true statement, then we shade that side. If it's false, we shade the other side. So, in this example, this is false. 0 is not greater than 4. So 0, 0 is right here. It is not greater than. So, we have to shade the other side. And that is the solution, and that is our inequality answer. Let's try a couple more. Number 2 says graph the following linear inequality. So in 2a, you'll notice it says y is less than negative 4. So we're going to go through our steps again. The first thing we're going to do is graph y equals negative 4 from last chapter. Remember, that's a horizontal line. So y equals negative 4. Goes through this point, but it's dotted because it's less than. So if we look at step 1 above, it's dotted. We know this is a dotted line. Okay. Now we're on to step 2. Step 2 said test 0, 0. So this is the point right here that we're testing. This point right there is what we're testing, 0, 0. So if we plug in 0 for y, and there's no x here, all we have to do is worry about the y. So the question is 0 less than -4? That's false. So because 0, 0 is false, we shade the other side. So we shade below. Why don't you pause the video now and actually try 2b. Alright, so if we look at 2b, it says x is less than or equal to 3. So step 1 is to graph the line. Remember, last chapter, x equals 3 is a vertical line. Okay, so if you think about why did we do a solid line, it was a solid line because it's less than or equal to. Now the second thing is to test the point. Remember, we're going to test 0, 0. Every time you can test 0, 0, if it's not on the line, you can use 0, 0. If 0, 0 is on the line, you can't use it. But that's very rare. So we're going to plug in 0. And we're going to ask ourselves, is it true or false? Well, 0 is less than or equal to 3. That's true. So if it's true, we shade the side that it's on. So we shade this side. Sorry about that. Touching buttons sometimes causes things to pop up.